Hello and thanks for joining the Thursday edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Ayodele Uzubakun. Today on the program, Nigerians celebrate Bola Ahmed Tinubu at 66. Katsina Police FCT Command sees assault weapons from killer headsmen. Others, and later on the show, federal government introduces history in school curriculum. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju, Dari Odufowokon, and Asuko James. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. By now, his contributions to Nigeria's political space is the stuff of a legend. Is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He's an accountant turned politician. He governed Lagos for 8 years and is the national leader of the All Progressives Congress. His party attests to his progressive and patriotic contributions to deepening democracy and ensuring good governance. It described him as a frontline politician who built lasting political bridges and alliances across divides. To the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, Tinubu is a dogged and rare breed, while former Ogun Governor Gbenga Daniel sees him as a great mobilizer and grassroots politician. At an annual colloquium held in his honor on Thursday, President Muhammadu Buhari, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, governors and other political leaders celebrated Tinubu at 66. Gentlemen, we just left the hotel and suits, and it was all about encomiums and praises for Bola Ahmed Tinubu at 66. Babajide.
Yeah, it's something to be expected, because Tinubu has become such a big factor in Nigerian politics. He's the man I like to describe as the man in the arena of Nigerian politics. I like to describe him as the big dog in the yard of Nigerian politics, because the big dog calls the shots in the neighborhood. When it is mating time, you dare not attempt to do it before the big dog. So Bola Tinubu is the big dog in the yard of Nigerian politics. And he is a man of many parts. I was sharing with a friend of mine that we met on Facebook, but that we've not had the privilege of physically interfacing. There are many people you meet on Facebook, you wish that you never set your eyes on them. There are some that you meet, and every day you pray for them, you hope that one day, if it pleases God, you'll be able to see them physically. This guy falls into the latter category, and I was telling him that I was with a PDP governor, and I don't know if I told you.
You told me.
I was with a PDP governor, and Asiwaju, there was a story about Asiwaju on the TV screen, and he said, "That's my leader." And I was taken aback. A PDP governor saying, "That's my leader." I said, "Your leader?" He said, "Yes, you are not a politician, you don't understand." So I tried, the journalist in me,
Probed more.
Yes. So I continued to prod him, and he said, "See, this guy is the most talented politician around, and his capacity to make friends is second to none in the country. I know for a fact that there is a talent that God has deposited in Asiwaju, and that talent is the talent for mobilizing people, because it's not easy for someone to organize an effective opposition movement. Effective to the point that a political behemoth like PDP
was uprooted,
was leveled. A party that told us that it was going to rule almost till infinitum. After 16 years, their reign came to an end. This man started with one state, and gradually we saw him build up, add this to this, add this to this, mobilize people, and he gave people confidence that it can happen. And it happened. See the man, the governor of Oyo State. He was very strong even as a member of the MPP.
Yes.
And there are many people who believe that he actually won that election,
elections.
the one before 2011. Asiwaju spotted his capacity. He has the third eye that most people don't have. He spotted that capacity that he has, Ajimobi has. He went for him. If he had left Ajimobi where he was, Ajimobi would not have won the election. It was the same thing that he did for the governor with the three-story cap. He got him on board, and the rest is history. Because that governor, the governor with the three-story cap had always defeated Obasanjo, even in Owu, where they both came from. Yes. But because, look, the PDP would manage to rig the election. But Tinubu saw that, look, if we work with this man, we'll be able to hand victory. And that was what happened. So gradually, he moved from the southwest. He built bridges across the country. He told us that, look, Buhari's 12 million votes are always in the cooler from the north. And with him as your candidate, you don't need to spend so much money. And then he was one of those who convinced Buhari. After Buhari had wept on network television, he convinced him to come back.
He said he wasn't going to run again.
He wept on network television. He wept bitterly and said he would not, we will not contest again. But he brought him back, along with other people, before they start saying that we are exaggerating. He brought him back, along with other people, and then Buhari delivered victory to the APC. Remember what also happened in Kogi State. Buhari didn't want the Abubakar Audu because of their old conflict. But Asiwaju said, this is the person who can win for us.
Ready-made.
This is the person who can win for us. He had been governor of that state before, and he remains the best governor in the history of that state in terms of performance. And he felt that he still had the support of the people. Asiwaju got Buhari to support him. They picked him, and then Abubakar Audu won the election. You know, even in Igala land, he defeated the incumbent. You know, so that is the thing. A man who is capable of doing all of this, in my view, is a rare politician in our generation.
Dari, when you want to look at, in 1999, when it started out in 1999, there was like a political tsunami in the Southwest in 2003. So the class of 1999, it swept them. You're talking about the Olusegun Oshobas of this world, Adeni, Adebayo, Adefarati. Who else from the Southwest? Lam Adeshina, you know, and BC Akonde. So by the time it was 2003, it was only Bola Tinubu that withstood the onslaught of the then Olusegun Obasanjo PDP.
The only man standing.
Yes, remember that election fiercely.
As the only man standing.
And then he became Okanloma.
Yes.
He became the Okanloma, yes, of the Southwest politics. But then, maybe we should go a little bit back into time when you want to talk about Asiwaju's resilience and his ability to survive and stand out from the crowd. He was one of the senators elected in 1992 from the Southwest too. By the time we were returning in 1999, he and a few others were the people who found their place still in the political realm of Southwest. Not many of them. There were 3 senators elected from Lagos then. We had only him coming back, becoming governor. And, you look around, that resilience has always been a part of him. And Lagos voted him in 1999, not just because of his immediate antecedents. People remembered what he stood for as a senator, as an SDP senator, then during the struggle for the actualization of the mandate given to the late MK Abiola. Before and after Abiola's demise, Bola Ahmed Tinubu remained one of the very vibrant, determined and dogged comrades who felt, look, this election should not just have come and should be allowed to go there. He won a free and fair election. In the face of serious intimidation and oppression by the military lords of that era, he risked a lot of things to ensure that his voice was heard. So by 1999, when he became governor, he was well known. And talking about what happened in 2003, that is the era that showed the real thing we are talking about Tinubu today is political strategies. While, as we heard, and as we got to know through testimonies and lamentations of some of those who became victims of the then OBJ abracadabra, while others were looking for the easy way out of what was becoming a political invasion of the Southwest by the ruling PDP then, Tinubu was actually not inclined towards that easy way out. Many of these governors who lost out, we later had cut deals with the ruling PDP.
Oh, yes,
others, we were told,
yeah.
felt, look, Obasanjo is a Yoruba man,
yeah.
and then there is no way. But Asiwaju sat down, strategically examined the situation of that time, and felt, look, if I maintain my ground, if I have done well for Lagos, if the people are pleased with me, then they will still vote for me. And it turned out that all those who thought they had support of federal might, and that's the new convert zone, were swept away. The man who refused to move to that convert zone, who chose to stay on assumed sinking sand, emerged from it all the lone survivor. And from that era, we begin to see the enigma that Asiwaju has become today. It is to his credit that the Southwest, which we lost to the opposition, which was lost to the opposition in 2003, by 2007, things started looking up for the progressives again. And some states were reclaimed. It is to his credit that Osun State today is in the kitty of the progressives. It is also to his credit that Oyo returned to the kitty of the progressives. And if you look around that way, look at Edo outside the Southwest. Asiwaju's contribution to the victory of progressive forces in Edo that we are still seeing today cannot be underestimated. And he has over time shown that he is not just a politician. He is a politician who is always willing and ready to be on the side of the people.
And that's working for him. How come the man is still relevant since 1999? The class of 1999, you can't mention governors across the country, those that managed to still be relevant.
Why it's still relevant is because, like I tell people, God creates such people, one per generation. You know, before you see someone that would, you know, match up to become Asiwaju will be maybe in another generation, might be our own generation, which we don't even know yet who the person is going to be. But
or if we're going to have at all.
No, we will. We will. The person, that is how it
or maybe
is.
in another form.
In another form.
Okay.
It might be in the economy, it might be in sports, that will begin to, you know, pour these accolades on, you know. And why he has been able to, you know, stay this long is because he has been able to build that bridge across board. I remember when, in 2011, in Akwa Ibom, when Umana wanted to, you know, cross over to APC, when his name was mentioned, if you see how people, my people, I want to use my people this time, they were shouting his name. I was shocked. So they even know this man here too. You know, so he's not just the Southwest that he has, you know, warmed his heart into. He has warmed his heart into everywhere. That's why sometimes I call him a pan-Nigerian. People, anywhere he goes to, he knows how to, you know, bring people together, talk to people, and mobilize people in such a way that once you leave, you will be happy that you even met such a person. And if you look at all the other ones that you are talking about, the 1999 set, you can't even count those governors. Do they have that capacity? Is a brain hunter that even till today, Lagos is benefiting from what he had planned a year back. Which governor from that 1999 laid a plan for his own state other than this man, Tinubu? No governor. Even the ones that even laid their own plan, the next governor that came, they started quarreling.
Immediately. And you raise all
You
the
understand?
legacy.
So immediately their own legacy died down. Till today, you are still benefiting everything that Tinubu did from Fashola, now Ambode. Just look at it. It's like there's a template which they all sat together and say, guys, this is what we are. There's a 24, like I read somewhere, there's a 24-year development plan in Lagos, starting from 1999 till date. And that is what we are benefiting today. Which 1999 governor outside Tinubu has been able to do that? None. It's because of, and he consults widely. He doesn't just take decisions. Some people say, any decision, he consults. He will bring, and it doesn't just go with any kind of people, if you notice. It goes with the best brains. And they will tell him, if you tell him something, he will say, okay, he has listened. If you tell him he has listened, but he will now sieve whatever you are saying, and he will make the right decision. That is why people across will always call him a strategist in every form. So the 1999 set, most of them, they don't have that capacity. They don't. So he has been able to bridge that gap. He has been able to bridge the gap between those people. In fact, now, most of them are still coming to come and, you know, tap from his wealth of experience. They still come to him and, you know, till date, at least I saw some of them today, you know, they're still there. Not because he's just a different kind of person. He has his own standing is just far ahead of most of his colleagues that were in 1999.
Jide, still on 1999, let's talk about his cabinet. His cabinet till date can boast of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, can boast of the Governor of Osun State, that is Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola. Yes. Very, 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 very loaded cabinet.
Yeah.
Even some ministers too.
Even the chief of staff, he discovered Alhaji Lai Mohammed. Alhaji Lai Mohammed
was the chief of staff between 1999 to 2000.
Yes, when he attempted to become governor of Kwara State, then he had to leave that office. Then he brought in Fashola.
2000.
Fashola, little known lawyer, and he catapulted him to national prominence. Because when you are talking about big lawyers, he wasn't a big lawyer at the time. By our own reckoning, by the way we assess who is a big lawyer, Fashola was not a big lawyer. He brought him to prominence.
The chief of staff first.
As chief of staff. And then when everyone felt that, look, this guy would not sell, he was not a politician, the politicians never liked him because he was accused of shielding Asiwaju from those politicians. He didn't guarantee effective access to Asiwaju, so they didn't really like him. And some of Asiwaju's loyalists rebelled at that time. But Asiwaju stood firm, and he said, Fashola, yes, he saw Fashola is the person who will see 2050 in 2018. So what everyone did not see, he had seen. And he said, this is the candidate for me. They said, oh, you cannot fly, he's not a politician. But he was able to push that candidacy through. And Fashola won the election by a landslide. And Fashola lived up to the confidence that Asiwaju had in him. And he became not just a very good governor here in Lagos, he became a reference point even across Nigeria. Lagos, the Lagos that Tinubu bequeathed to Fashola was a Lagos that was already working. You know, he brought in a lot of technocrats into his administration, and LASMA and all of those agencies, you know, were very, very effective, and they were the main catalyst for the growth of Lagos State. So by the time a new governor came in, he only had to build on everything that Tinubu. Yes, I said even Cross River, as clean as Cross River is, they still came here to understudy Loma. From Ghana, they came here to understudy Loma. And it was Asiwaju that created all of these groups. When we talk about even generation IGR, remember Lagos was on between 700 million to 1 billion. When they had Adekunle, you know, and Tinubu said, no, we can do this ourselves. Before he left office, Lagos was already generating in excess of 20 billion a month.
Let me, David is calling us from Lagos. Thank you for joining us, Dave. Hello, David. Are you there? Hello? All right.
So, and you can see that even in terms of revenue generation, blocking leakages, and ensuring that Lagos works, Ambode has come in and is doing a fantastic job. Everywhere you go, you see
just inform me that David is back. Hello, David. Thank you for joining us, David. Hello? I think we're having a problem with our audio.
So it's not the transition that works, in my view, is the kind of transition that Tinubu bequeathed to Lagos. That is the transition that works. Because it's not enough to do all the work that an Akpabio did. Because Akpabio, as governor, in terms of infrastructure, it was excellent. But he brought in someone that we can see clearly does not even share his vision. That's why the hotel, you caught a that's why you see that, okay, friction here and there. But Lagos has not had that kind of situation. This governor comes, the next one even outperforms that governor, because it is a system. It is a template that is there, and it is a template that is guaranteed to work. Every time we see bright people coming out of the commissioners of Lagos. There was a commissioner in Lagos that went to Australia, and after he gave a talk, that was during Fashol's last time, he gave a talk, and they wanted to give him Australian citizenship. I'm sure you know that, that commissioner.
The vice president at the point in time was commissioner for justice and attorney general. His PA is now chief of staff. Adepaye. So Adepaye at the point in time became the attorney general in Lagos State. The same thing. What's his name? Jide Idris. He was the PS. You know.
It's a system that works. It's a system that other states need to learn from. You see, like, I don't know how Asiwaju discovered Asiwaju, but that is one of his greatest achievements.
Exactly.
Because that is a man who is truly special. The gift, in terms of the gifts that God has deposited in him. This is a former Lagos State debating champion, undefeated as a debater. He spoke extempore today. No, he wasn't reading anything. Asiwaju is the people who don't know him who will be surprised when Asiwaju begins to talk. People who don't know. Asiwaju took part in a debate, Ayo. His own colleague, his partner, fell ill and couldn't attend. Asiwaju had to singularly represent his school. Every time his partner was supposed to speak, he spoke. So he contested against two individuals and he still won the debate. So how do you want to defeat that person when it comes to mouth?
As a pastor too.
So you know that in Redeem, they even teach them how to talk. They teach those pastors. They get people to train them how to talk. So forget even being a pastor. This man, before he became a pastor, I said he was debate champion in Lagos State. So nobody could defeat him in Lagos in debate, in school's debate.
You have the likes of Oladele Alake, Okweyemi Bamidele, Tunji Bello, Muiz Banire, Rauf Aregbesola, Wale Edun, Kadoso. Let's take Yakub. Yakub is calling us from Lagos.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us, Yakub.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Babajide and the rest of the team.
Good evening.
Yeah, you see, when we are talking about in person of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, quickly, and then let me just give you a typical example. I'm a former drummer. I do go to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu State House in the 1999 dispensation when he was a governor. There was a time we are outside the gate beating our drums seriously. Not to hold that Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu are listening to our drummers. Do you know that all those, some guides, I'm talking about police officers that are guiding the state house then, with annoyance, they break one of our drums, and then we are all keep silent. Do you know Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu come all the way from inside and come outside the gate? Say, what happened? Your drum is stopped. What happened? And then the leader of the team tell him then that this is the police that even break our drum. What Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu said to that police then is that, do I know you from anywhere? This is the people when I've never even dreamed to become a governor. They always come to my house. Now that I become a governor, they have right to visit me. And then you break their drum. From today, you cannot guide this place again. Oh yeah, you people come inside. And then that day, I don't want to say something else.
He gave you money. He gave you money. We know. We know.
Very generous.
You know. We know.
Compassionate part of the drum.
And the dinner for that day.
Yes, now, if you go to his house, in front of his house, you have people always there.
That one is not secret.
You cannot begin to say that about Asiwaju and attract any attention.
No.
When it comes to giving. No, I have a politician friend who would say it's only God who can define the kind of person Asiwaju is and his understanding of politics. He said some things will happen and party leaders will be worried. Maybe they are at a function and some things are happening, and Asiwaju will stand up and he will say what is happening there, and they will just brief him. And they are running a task and trying to find.
He will be on raw food.
He will just wait. After a while, he will say, ẹ fún wọn lówó, ẹ fún wọn lówó, ẹ lè má ṣe nǹkan tó báyìí káwọn máa wò yín, ẹ fáwọn náà lówó náà. And you see, the moment he says that and they heed, you will see that the atmosphere will change.
Yes,
he will now call them and say, all of us can now sit down
and have peace.
Peacefully. So a man
We have to go.
is a man who understands when and how to satisfy his people.
I don't. There
And he
is
cannot just
something.
belong.
You know, there is something that I said before we go. There is something that I said that when there appears to be trouble, remember when there was this issue about the local government chairman who will be chair. You know, there was tension.
Exactly.
And Asiwaju
Exactly.
and Asiwaju had just returned from Europe, and people were like, they are going to stone this man at the secretariat today. You were there.
Yeah.
And he walked into the place unruffled. All the people,
Without worry on his face.
the people who were
planning.
threatening fire and brimstone,
They were
You see,
disarmed.
he is enigmatic, he's extremely charismatic.
Charisma.
That is why, that song that they were singing, that on your mandate we shall stand, it's coming from their heart. Because he is someone, he didn't impose himself as their leader. They have accepted him as a leader, and even when people are losing their heads, when he steps in,
Everything comes out.
Wishing from Jonas Sanga crew, wishing Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu a happy birthday. Still to come, Katsina Police FCT Command seize assault weapons from killer headsmen. Others will be right back after this break. Welcome back. The fear of headsmen is the beginning of wisdom for residents in as many as 6 states of Nigeria. Nigerians have told agonizing tales of horror and bloodletting by headsmen that turned men into cowards and families fleeing from their ancestral homes. With the military-grade weapons, they raid and attack farming communities and destroyed farmland. In Katsina, no fewer than 198 illegal arms were recovered from killer headsmen and cattle rustlers. On Wednesday, the police there said the arms included 20 AK-47 rifles, 10 pistols, 2 G3 rifles, and 8 pump-action rifles. Are these headsmen at war with Nigeria?
the truth is, when you see the quantum of arms being recovered from these headsmen and cattle rustlers, you will fear for our country. Something must be done quickly, because people can't have this kind of arms and you expect that there will be peace. People can't have this kind of arms and you will expect that lives won't be lost. If they invade the village with this, how many people will be left?
They just kill
They
indiscriminately.
just waste people. In Zamfara has become the #1 killing field in Nigeria now. Cattle rustlers who used to operate in Katsina State, because of the amnesty program that the governor introduced, and which the secretary to the Katsina State government, Mustafa Inua, is coordinating. They've been able to defeat cattle rustling. In fact, former cattle rustlers are the ones catching cattle rustlers now, whereas they used to kill so many people in that state.
That's,
now they've moved to...
Commissioner's interview is ready now.
Okay.
These ones were gotten from the herdsmen in and around the bush. That's why we recovered this. There is not so far from any politician or any other source, apart from this Fulani and these cattle rustlers. That's why we made all the recoveries. The rest are the ones that some are in court process, and they are tagged as exhibits to be disposed of after the case. However, win or lose, the arms are confiscated because they are illegal. No matter what, they are not authorized to have this.
Mohammed Wakili, the Commissioner of Police in Katsina State, Babajide.
The president said a long time ago that headsmen should not carry guns. Fulani headsmen are not permitted to carry guns. This is what the president said, that anywhere they see a Fulani herdsman carrying a gun, that they should be arrested. The president he gave that instruction. So I'm happy that this commissioner and his officers have gone ahead to disarm these people, take their guns from them, and later on I'm sure these guns will be destroyed. I'm happy. And he said it with his own mouth, that we took this from herdsmen, we took this from Fulani herdsmen. He said it, it's not us saying it. So that is what we expect other commissioners of police to be doing.
Call a spade a spade.
Call a spade a spade. You know these people. You know the people killing. Nobody has a right to be carrying this kind of sophisticated weapons. Weapons that, in fact, if soldiers see this kind of weapons, they will tremble. It is what they are carrying. If they invade a village with this, they will nearly slaughter everyone in that village. That's why they are killing people recklessly in our country. We are losing too many of our countrymen and women to needless attacks like this. And we will have to find out, how do these weapons get into our country?
Honestly.
We have to block, because this is not, if they show you now what was recovered by the FCT Police Command, you will be shocked. Yes, it's a problem even more than this. And that everywhere you see guns being recovered, so, and it is illegal to carry these guns around. So they must go ahead if they want peace, if they want these killings to stop. The police should do their work professionally. I appreciate what this Commissioner of Police has done, and I expect his colleagues to go out, other commissioners, to go out and disarm herdsmen who are carrying AK-47. They have no right to carry AK-47 around. They have no right, just as the commissioner said. Because if you have this kind of weapon, even if someone argues with you, you can turn the weapon against that person. You already have an advantage. You know? So that's why we need to put an end to this killing. I am personally ashamed that in my country, people are being wiped away like flies. So it has to stop.
Asiwaju, when you look at what they just paraded, and you begin to wonder, man.
We are not safe. We are not. We might be in the south, but if you notice, even the south, most villages
Out of Delta.
I'm making the road.
Yes, they are making
In Delta, they are taking over villages.
You know, they are taking over villages. Yeah, Ebonyi. Every day, the governor has complained.
Especially university town.
You know, over this same issue.
What's the name of that university in Delta State?
Abraka.
Oh, that's now there. It's there then.
So it's really, really sad.
People can't go to
honestly.
farms anymore. They can't go to
Even
farms.
on campus, right there in Abraka on campus. I mean, Fulani herdsmen invade the school in broad daylight. Had their cattle have their field and they leave without being accused or corrected.
No, I think the thing is
exactly,
because I think it is because nobody has been prosecuted. They make this arrest
Poisoned. After some time, they poisoned the dam of University of the school.
Exactly. You know. So it's because nobody has been prosecuted. We need somebody
arrested and prosecuted.
Yes, nobody. It was last year that UN was saying about 350 million arms, both small and light arms, are in Nigeria. And it's just like, is it not last year or this year that in customs someone was even trying to import arms again into
And they still bring it.
and they are still bringing it from all the porous borders that we have.
That's why Boko Haram can go to Dapchi wearing
army uniform,
lying to the guests that they've come to rescue them, only to pack them away, and the idiots caused the death of about 5 of those guests. And the idiots are still holding on to one
Leah Sharibu.
Because we need people to be prosecuted. Well, maybe this will serve as a test to other commissioners of police. Because what I noticed is that most of them are not bold to come out and say, this is the set of people that are doing this. And this...
And they won't arrest them.
And yeah, because if you do that, and destroy, because we must...
Wakile is a full animal himself.
Exactly. He has come out to say it.
Look at him.
If he has come out to say it. So it's not we here. He said it. We heard it. You know, so tomorrow they shouldn't say
this is what we took from
herdsmen.
This
And
is
this is what
what
we took.
he said they have no right to carry guns. And the president said it that if you see any Fulani headsman carrying gun, arrest him. That's the president's directive.
How many, aside from this that we are seeing today, how many herdsmen carrying arms have been arrested?
That's why we need to encourage this.
Someone like the CP in Katsina should be given accolades.
Yes.
We should speak about him glowingly. Because what he has done is to say, look, if you run against the law, we will arrest you.
The law will do with you.
And that's why when you talk about handling this Fulani menace, Fulani Island menace, it goes beyond just making laws. Implementing those laws, having the will, the political will to go all the way. Fulani herdsmen or whatever herdsmen.
The problem is that not a lot of them are not even Nigerians. You know the truth. The president, you know, because my people get unnecessarily agitated, they get hysterical about these issues. The president said in Taraba that some of the Fulanis killing people are not from Nigeria. He said it. We still have the video. But when you talk about people, will get angry.
It's just about Fulani.
They are not
Nigerians.
Nigerians.
In Nigeria.
Yes,
some of them are
also in Sudan.
Mauritania.
They're in Sudan, everywhere.
He said it.
They are along that Maghreb.
I don't want to believe that Nigerians will be killing themselves anyhow.
Without remorse.
And even El-Rufai said it now that those guys that came to kill people were not from Nigeria, and that he eventually compensated them because maybe they stole their cattle and all that. They are not from Nigeria. The cattle rustlers, those ones who have turned Zamfara,
the real criminals,
to a home, a lot of them are not Nigerians. Yes, they may be Fulani, but Fulani is not a tribe that is indigenous to Nigeria. They could be from somewhere else.
There's even this thing I heard, that the Fulani herdsmen or herdsmen that will ordinarily drive cattle into people's farms are the ones that cannot graze openly and freely because they're actually cattle rustlers. Now most of these cattle are stolen, rustled from their root owners.
That's an exaggeration.
And you know, that's why I said
it takes a rustler. It takes a rustler to know.
Rustlers are stealing. They are stealing cattle from innocent Fulani.
That's what I'm saying. When they steal it and they want to move, you know, they have to move far away from where these cattle are stolen. You see, why I'm saying this is that we need to take a deep look at who are these people. How can some people be in possession of what we are seeing here? No. And the intention is not to hunt wild animals, but to gun down
using this to kill people.
Citizens. And these are not.
You saw what happened yesterday in Zamfara.
After
they killed people during the funeral. The people were
burying.
Funeral.
They came back and killed more people.
I begin to feel.
So
these are people who are not even among us.
Oh, definitely.
You know what?
They are not hearing what we are saying.
I said during this program a few weeks back, I was even praising the army for killing that Buhari Daji. I didn't know that it wasn't soldiers that killed him. He was killed by a rival group of cattle rustlers.
Exactly.
I was praising the army.
If they will take on themselves like that, wipe themselves out, and then we have
no the boy who has emerged now, maybe on another
day. New leader.
Exactly. We'll discuss that guy is young, extremely handsome. They said he's extremely brutal. And they are there in the bushes of Zamfara, stretching all the way to Brenengwari in Kaduna. See, they are the ones who went to kill our soldiers. They killed our 11 soldiers. They were sleeping.
Because
they killed them in their sleep.
Taken away from our security operatives.
Of course, if they go to, if they storm an army base, like they did in Kaduna, and kill 11 soldiers, they will take their weapons.
They went for.
Okay, moving on now. When Pan-Africanist philosopher Marcus Garvey said a people without the knowledge of their past history, origin and culture are like a tree without roots, he wasn't wrong. But those who expunged history from Nigeria's school curriculum took a risk at making the people who lack the knowledge of the past. They have succeeded in distancing the younger generation from events surrounding their existence. On Tuesday, the federal government backtracked and ordered that history be reintroduced as an independent subject in the curriculum of primary, junior secondary schools, and it said it will make students appreciate national integration and nation building. Isn't this what we always advocated? If you remember, I remember my days in primary school, elementary history, about Mungo Park, about Williams Wilberforce, about those, you know, the Landa brothers, you know, and the Mungo Park circumnavigated discovered with how the floration, the amalgamation of 1914 and everything. So I think
how they gave us the
name Nigeria, Niger area. So
Niger River area.
As a young man, you know, it came naturally, but right now, you just see them always on Twitter, always on
they
Facebook.
don't know our history.
Right? Shabbily.
You see, education has been going steadily down in our country, no doubt about it. I read some time ago that even practicals, you know, were made were no longer compulsory, made optional.
It's optional.
Yes. Meanwhile, and it's because largely schools can't even maintain their laboratories anymore. It costs money to buy all of those
Home economics,
intro
science, tech.
Biology.
So it costs a lot of money to set up a laboratory and equip it with all of the things that the children need to perform experiments and all that. So because most schools don't have anything like laboratory, they now say, okay, optional.
Just so theory.
So, but you can't make it optional because it's part of the education that a science student needs to get. A science student must have, his education must be complete and it's part of that education. Now, when I heard that history had been stopped, I'm like, history? You stop people? What's the meaning of this? They combined it with social studies and they said, okay, it will now be called basic studies. You know? So, basic education, sorry. So you cannot do that. That's why our people, if you ask most of the young people who make so much noise on Facebook, they know absolutely nothing about their country. They don't know nothing about their country.
You ask them about Adilabu, they don't
to
know.
even read about their country,
Ask them about
it's not there. And unfortunately, even for us, a lot of things about Nigerian history, a lot of things that people ought to know are not documented.
Exactly.
They are not documented.
Honestly,
no, if as a historian I want to find out some things now,
Thank God for Wikipedia,
They will
the
not
least
even-
they could do, but
even
we
the
don't.
Wikipedia
is not enough.
It's not enough.
sometimes it is
not
even
enough.
what they even posted on Wikipedia is false. What they posted on Wikipedia
And that
sometimes
is what they
is
can
false.
just get from somewhere.
Exactly.
You know, it's terrible. It's terrible. So this is a welcome development, and it shows that the government listens because Nigerians piled so much pressure. Now they decided to bring it back. It's a very good decision, and it will really help our people to understand their country more.
Can teach our children about Obafemi Awolowo, Nnamdi Azikiwe, so Tafawa Balewa.
Sometimes ago, I was reading something on social Facebook precisely, and this online analyst supporting this candidate or this party or the other were at it, and somebody came in and said, all of you Facebook warriors under 40,
You know that.
take time off your argument. Please, I want some of you to tell me about, you mentioned something, Adelakun. You mentioned Okotiebo. What do you know about these people? And, you know, I patiently waited. 3 hours after I wrote that, there was no argument again. 3 hours. On that platform, nobody spoke. That is the extent to which our people don't know about our past anymore. And this was made worse by the stopping of history as a subject in secondary and primary school. With this reintroduction, I see a better future for Nigeria. I see our children, once again, getting to know about the exploits of our forebearers. And then there is hope. More importantly, there is hope that tomorrow, people will read about Ayo Zugbaku's exploit and my exploit, and the efforts of Babajide here
To write books.
now that
Nigerians don't write books.
well, when you keep writing history books when people are no longer reading, now with this, there is hope that what we're even doing today will be recorded somewhere.
Of course.
And people will
No,
learn
of course,
about
we've
it.
seen people, students come from the universities
Yes.
to come and ask us, how did you set up journalists?
How can it be? How can we replicate this? So it's a good thing. Sincerely, for schools, I think they should take advantage of
I
it.
can even, when he was talking about our forefathers and everything, I remember reading about how all the kings in Lagos,
yes.
Jaja of Okpobo, like in
How they
Lagos,
came by?
Oba Akintoye,
Do you
Kosoko,
the last time
Dosumu,
I saw
Yeah,
history,
Dosumu was a
the
weak-
last time I
the weak king, this one was a
when we were in
warrior.
secondary school, when we were in secondary school, the last time we did history was in just 3. After that, no
That was
more.
it.
But when you now get to SS, then they will now say, okay, SS3, if you want to now choose which subject.
It will become an elective.
It now be history slash government.
Geography or
Slash government, which was wrong, you know, because I was more interested in the history because I love books. You know, I just want to read. I just want to know about, you know, so many things. They were just interesting to read.
Interesting.
Very interesting. They were 1870 something.
Yeah.
You know, you just want to know. BC. Even when you
migration
know,
of one
you just
tribe.
want to know the migration between so person, Usman Dafilo and all that and all that. But right now, but I don't know if what the federal government has done is great, is good. They are bringing it back.
Yeah.
Stand on its own. But I would prefer it would have been like a compulsory subject. It's
They
a
must start
must.
from somewhere.
You know, yes, they've started, yeah. But maybe next year they should be looking at making it compulsory, just like maths and English. History should be a compulsory subject.
yes.
Because I know some people who go outside, like America, they say they have a book, they call it the American history. So you must know, it's like a Bible.
You must know, you must read it.
You must
You
read
go
it
through
to understand
their
how
own,
the history. So
institution.
there's
You must
nothing
read
stopping us from also having a book called the Nigerian history from BC, whatever, to date. Then we know everything
Nigerians-
about our history.
Nigerians need to know that at independence, we were in the same class with Brazil, with Singapore,
Japan.
with
Malaysia.
You know, when people need to know
One naira,
and ask
$1.
questions.
$1.
How come we were in the same
And now we are here.
class?
And
with
we are
them?
here.
And what happened? Because that's how we can learn.
That's our independence video.
People need to know. But if you say, oh, don't study history, how do people learn?
In fact, you see-
in any case, we are dealing with people who don't even want to read.
They don't want to hear.
They don't want to read.
They don't
Now
want to
you
know.
made it easier for them.
Since there is no
Don't go
history.
into the internet.
You see, I was shocked to learn recently that it is now a thing of joy when Nigerians travel to Malaysia. And I had the musicians now singing and praising people's trip to Malaysia, knowing that this was a country we were at par with. That,
They came to take their palm kernel seeds.
from here,
in
and that's what they are making.
Do you know
waves
now?
with.
Do you know now that they are now we now import processed palm oil?
You
If
enter
you
all
go
these
to all these big time
outlets,
supermarkets, you know, you see
it's
processed
written on
palm
it
oil.
from Malaysia.
In fact, look, when you see there is this particular one called Kings, when I see it, you think it's actually groundnut oil, but it's not groundnut oil. You see oleum, which is the Spanish word for oil. So once I see oleum, I tell my wife, I said, this is oil. It's not groundnut oil.
palm
Once you
oil.
bleach, it's actually bleached.
Bleached to give that colour.
Palm oil. So when you bleach the palm oil, it will look like.
So they took it from us,
It's-
refined
they are sending it back to us now.
Back to us.
And
Just
we are buying
what is
processed
happening in
palm
our
oil.
petroleum
I
industry.
just hope we'll have more.
Let's continue to recycle. It's a pity for us as
you
Now,
have
well.
thank you, Asuko James, for your contribution.
Thank you so
Dari,
much for having me.
thank you. And the Mesro, Babajide Kolade Utitoju.
I thank you. I thank everyone who greeted me on my birthday.
Yeah.
We'll continue to give our best journalists, and you have shown me that you really appreciate what we are doing here. I can't thank you enough. And I know it's impossible for me to retaliate all the greetings on Facebook, but that which we are doing that you people are happy about, I promise that we'll continue to do it, and every one of us will continue to do it.
I had almost 500 hits, likes, and comments. Thank you all, and that's it on Journalist Hangout. Join us tomorrow for another interesting episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11. You can also watch Journalist Hangout on the platforms showing on the screen. Catch us on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. Our feedback channel is Journalist Hangout at tvcnews.tv. I'm Ayodele Uzubaku. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.